Hi, everyone. My name is Sara Shikhman, and this is a webinar by Lingia Law. We are a healthcare law firm really focused on the aesthetics and med spa industry. We work with lots of clients around the country, and this webinar is about the new Texas regulations that may be coming. And I say maybe because these are just bills, they haven't been approved into law. And my colleague Nick is going to go over what that means and what these regulations are and specifically about two of them. We have other videos about some of the other bills, and you could find those on our YouTube channel or our Instagram. But this particular video is going to be about bills 3889 and 3890. So I've been practicing law for 18 years, longer than I'd like to admit. And Nick has been practicing for a long time too, and he'll introduce himself as well. And we look forward to bringing you this information.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick Shafer. I am a Texas licensed attorney. I've been practicing healthcare law for almost 8 years now. I am working with Sarah at Lingia for just about a year and 4 months. So today we're going to be talking about House Bill 3889 and House Bill 3890. We're addressing them together because they were put forth by the same representative, that's Elizabeth Campos, and they kind of address similar subjects. These aren't med spa specific. These laws would actually affect the relationship between physicians and mid-level practitioners across the healthcare space. 3889 would require that a physician establish the physician-patient relationship, perform that initial exam for a patient before a mid-level practitioner is allowed to prescribe controlled substances or drugs or the use of a medical device for a patient. So instead of, as we have it now, where prescriptive authority is delegated to the NP or the PA through a prescriptive authority agreement, and the NP and PA has pretty wide autonomy to prescribe and deliver services according to that agreement. This would require that the physician establish a physician-patient relationship with a patient before the mid-level is allowed to prescribe and deliver services within that full scope of practice. This would put us behind other states. The practice of mid-levels and the scope of practice and the independence is expanding throughout the country. We're trending towards independent practice in almost every jurisdiction. This would move us backwards and put Texas behind other states as far as the autonomy of mid-levels and our ability to harness this population of providers to deliver care to patients in the state. In the medical aesthetics context, this would require, when you're doing that good faith exam, that initial good faith exam for a patient to create the treatment plan, write a patient's prescriptive order, the physician would have to create that physician-patient relationship before an MP or a PA would be able to prescribe or prescribe in the future for that patient. So it could be really disruptive for not just medical spas, but the healthcare sector throughout Texas. Similarly, 3890 is targeting that relationship between physicians and advanced practitioners. It requires that physicians only collaborate with or supervise MPs or PAs that are delivering services in a specialty that is the same as the physician specialty, what their residency was or what they're board certified in, or the physician has at least 5 years experience in that practice area. So this would make it harder for physicians to collaborate with practitioners outside of their exact specialty, even if they could safely delegate that authority to those practitioners as we do now. And again, this puts us behind other states. Some states do have these rules on the books that require the specialties to line up, but like I said, most states are going towards expanding scope of practice for mid-levels. this would be a tightening or a reduction of that. And the way that it would affect aesthetics, we do have a lot of medical directors. We do have a lot of supervising physicians in the med spa world who come from other practice areas who might have done some training on Botox fillers, laser treatments to be able to competently delegate those procedures, but don't have 5 years experience in the cosmetics industry. And I think that that could be if this were to pass, it could be really harmful to the industry and it can make it a lot harder for people to find a medical director because honestly, the people who have 5 years of experience in this industry are going to be dermatologists, plastic surgeons who are already incorporating those medical aesthetics procedures into their practices. So it's the incentives don't line up anymore for somebody to provide medical director services when they can just provide those services through their practice.
Right. And it would really limit the availability of these services because, like we talked about before, there really aren't enough physicians who would meet
Mhm.
this criteria. So the bill would kind of do the opposite of what it's trying to do, which is improve patient care and improve safety. So let's talk a little bit about where it stands now. Like, where is this bill? Like, has it passed the House? Is it almost getting signed, or is it somewhere like much less further along?
Yeah, so this is still in its early stages. It's been submitted and then sent over to the Public Health Committee in the Texas House. It hasn't been considered by the committee yet in a meeting, so we are still waiting to see how the committee is going to respond to this bill and whether or not they'll take a favorable view of it. It would have to get voted out of committee to the House, be voted on by the House, and if it passes, be sent to the Senate, voted on by the Senate, pass the Senate, go to the governor's desk for approval. We don't see a high likelihood of this passing. As many of you know, Texas is huge and we have a huge population. We have a huge rural population. We need to be expanding access to care rather than limiting it. It would be nice if everybody could have a telemedicine visit with a doctor or interact directly with a doctor. But the way that we're trending and the availability of physicians, especially in rural areas, it would be unwise, in my opinion, to restrict these bills, like I said, aren't just applicable to the medical aesthetics industry. So it's not just targeting med spas in rural areas, it's all healthcare. So I don't think that this will pass in its current form, but we're going to be monitoring it. So be on the lookout for alerts and updates from our firm.
Yeah, and if you want to do something about it, which we definitely encourage, you could contact your local senator and representative and say, hey, we don't agree with this bill. This is why. You could submit that form many times. You could find your local representative online, and it only takes a few minutes to submit the form. There's no guarantee that, of course, any single form will make a difference, but if millions of people submit the form, of course, I think it will make a difference. So it's not like you're powerless or voiceless in this. Definitely submitting the form can't hurt. So I would definitely encourage everybody to do that. And as we hear any developments on these two bills, we'll definitely keep our clients posted. And if any of you guys want more information or want to have a free consultation with us, our information will be here in the video at the end, and our website is lingealaw.com. Nick and I are available and would love to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for listening, and thank you, Nick, for sharing your knowledge.
Thanks, Sarah.